Yo.
Yo, welcome back to the J&E Comic Cast for episode 64.
Oh, that's a 2.
That's a 2.
64. Yeah, 64.
Sorry about last week. Both me and Egg,
Had some stuff come up.
family stuff happened.
Yeah.
Family members in the hospital, so we couldn't post. But we are here now, and we are present for the new release. For starters, how you doing, Egg?
I'm doing good. How you doing, my boy? How you doing, my boy?
Doing good. This week we got 2 episodes of She-Hulk to talk about, and we got a release of Star Wars Andor, which was
Interesting.
But let's start off with the big stuff. She-Hulk.
Yeah. Okay. I see what you did there. Yeah. These last 2, maybe 3 episodes of She-Hulk really haven't been
All that.
yeah, I mean they've been entertaining, you know what I mean, but I feel like at this point in the show with a lot of other Marvel shows, we know what the story is about, you know what I mean? I feel like the show is more and I'm not saying I'm not saying this in a bad way, but it's more lighthearted. It has a more comedic tone. It's more lighthearted. It has a more comedic tone. It's not really so serious. It's almost like each episode it's almost like its own self-contained story with very few parts of the episode, normally at either the beginning or the end of the episode, carrying over to the next episode. So if you guys haven't watched it yet, obviously, She-Hulk comes out every Thursday on Disney Plus. Last week everybody thought this episode was going to be the big episode because at the end of the episode we saw Daredevil's cow, and then last week's episode was basically just to give you guys a quick rundown of the last 2 episodes, was She-Hulk dealing with a lawsuit from Titania for using the She-Hulk name, and she found her way around it, and she got a super suit built. Everything's so great. And then at the end we saw Daredevil, so everybody thought, Daredevil episode this week, which we were already kind of pumped for because when the Daredevil actor, who I can't think of his name right now, was at D23, he said that the episode of She-Hulk where he's in is a really special episode. So I know for me, I was really pumped for this
Charlie
episode.
Cox.
Yes. Thank you, Jay.
I'm trying to remember it.
I appreciate it because I blanked out. And then we got to this episode and she was like, she did her thing where she broke the 4th wall. And she was like, hey, this is a wedding episode. Like, I know you guys were expecting something else, but guess what? This is what we got. So the episode was entertaining, but other than the very ending of the episode, it did nothing to move the story forward. But we also got to introduce another character, which is pretty interesting, a mortal man. So yeah, it was that. Overall, I give the last 2 episodes like a 7 out of 10. Jay, what do you think?
I feel like this show is focusing on She-Hulk versus 9 to 5. We're only seeing her working, and then after work, hanging out, and then working
and drinking. Yeah.
So She-Hulk versus 9 to 5. I gotta say, you know what? I have to give it the last 2 episodes like a 6. Nothing too impressive for me. They were there. They were fillers for me. Nothing too big. I feel like we're already 6 episodes deep, and we still don't know who's the main villain. All we know is someone is just out for her blood, which we saw at the ending, like a laboratory of her with her file and the broken syringe from when the muggers came after her. So we haven't really seen like what's the big reveal. And we're 6 episodes in, so I think that's a little struggle with me. Like, draw me into the story. You haven't drawn me into the story. That's my issue with it. But like Egg said, hopefully we're going to see Daredevil soon, and hopefully we get more from it.
Yeah, I feel like one of the main things that's been carrying the show, and they kind of mentioned it, is basically the people that they have showing up every week. You know what I mean? We had Wong for 2 episodes. We had Bruce Banner for 2 episodes. We know Daredevil's coming. That's one of the things that, and I'm not gonna say the show's bad. And Matrix Imagination and Tatiana Maslany, who plays She-Hulk is fantastic as a She-Hulk, and I really enjoy her character. I really enjoy her work. But at this point in the story, kind of like Jay is saying, I'd like to know what's going on. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? Like what is Disney gonna do? Try to squeeze like a whole character arc in the last 2 to 3 episodes? I feel like it's gonna be rushed. You know what I mean? And I feel like it's one of those things that's hurting I guess my opinion of the show right now.
Right now, just to give you guys a quick update, the average audience score for Rotten Tomato of the show is at a 38%. I think that's one of Disney's lowest TV shows.
Oh, I'm sure some of that is trolling, but I know that there are people who probably aren't as excited for the show, especially with the way that it's being handled.
Yeah, I think I again, like Egg said, we love the character. I think she's doing an amazing job, both of them. The show has potential to go somewhere. It's just, where are you going with it? Like, finally give us that, what we want to see. And I think that's the problem. But yeah, She-Hulk is the worst Marvel show out there now.
As far as the audience score is concerned, because it's still the critics score is still Inhuman takes it. Inhuman is probably the worst show
all around.
Yeah,
but yeah.
Oh, Iron Fist is pretty low on there too, but that's really more Netflix.
Audience score wise, I normally go by for Rotten Tomatoes audience, the average audience score, not really the critics, because they say Miss Marvel is a 97%, and I disagree.
The audience said 80, which I think 80s sounds, I guess, reasonable.
And then they said, what's it called? Was a good show, Eternals?
No, they didn't. Eternals, you just passed it.
Did they not?
Nah, Eternals.
Captain Marvel, they said was a 79.
Audience gave it 45, but I think that could be trolls too.
Black
Eternals
Widow
got a
was
47. Audience gave it a 77. That's
I
interesting.
I didn't like Eternals, but yeah.
You know, me and Jay, we might have to go through some of these stuff
again
on an episode. You know what I mean? I think we might have done it in the past, but it would be interesting for us to show you guys a little bit some of these ratings, because some of that stuff is pretty interesting.
Yeah, I think yeah. All in all, I think She-Hulk has really good potential.
What do you feel like you need to see from the show?
I think honestly, the show itself, I think they just need to fix the writing and the story. Like, finally give us the main villain. Finally figure out a way. It's obviously she's gonna want to become a superhero. Then already make her start becoming a superhero, and like, stop giving us so many fillers. I feel like we got so many filler episodes, because it seems it's almost like a show that isn't finished filming. Like, they're still filming and it's not done. Like, they gave it the season way too early before it was fully recorded.
Yeah, I just wanted to make sure that I said her name right. So I thought I was looking at my phone. Yeah, I feel like that too. I feel like they need to, at this point, get on with the story. You know what I mean? But give us some more sustenance. Give us some oomph. You know what I mean, to the show. And yeah, I feel like that's really the main thing. I thought it was cool, by the way, the whole thing with this week where she fought Titania. That was a pretty cool scene, where she kind of hulked out and
it has cool. It has cool
scenes.
It has cool scenes and cool.
The thing where
things.
she stomped the floor and threw her. I was like, okay, that's pretty dope.
Yeah, it's not like a Loki or a Moon Knight. That's the issue.
No, I think Moon Knight is insane. It was probably one of my favorite shows.
Moon Knight's up there, and Loki was good. So it's not anything like that.
What If too? You know, even though the animated show. Amazing.
What If? Yeah. Well, I consider that its own thing though.
Because it's animated.
Well, not because it's animated. It's different stories just changing. It's not one set story.
But at the end, it all kind of came together.
Yeah.
With them dealing with Ultron.
That
was cool how they did that too, because I wasn't expecting that.
Yeah, I didn't expect that either. I still think it's its own thing. Like, it's its own universe, its own thing. Like,
okay, I respect that.
In my opinion, but looking forward to seeing what Marvel has to offer for us with She-Hulk and the cinematic universe and how it's gonna all tie together. Because I'm still in awe.
Yeah, I think we have 1 or 2 episodes. I think it's 2 or 3 episodes left. So we'll see what they do.
Crazy.
We'll see what they do. Yeah, we've gotten 6 episodes already of it, which I think I think it's gonna be the longest Marvel show that they've given us so far. So
okay, Disney Plus. What else did they give us today?
Well, not today technically, but we got Andor this week. We got the first 3
Wednesday.
episodes dropped. Roughly 40-minute episodes, which was big surprise for.
I was surprised 3 episodes dropped. I can see 2 40-minute episodes dropping, but 3, I was like, oh, okay, we got a lot to watch then.
Yeah. I what do you think of the show, Jay? What do you think? You watched it before I did.
Episode 1 started really strong. I liked the concept that they were coming with it. Then we get into like the ending of episode 1 and 2, and it just starts going into more, I guess, explaining his life and his decisions the reason why he made these decisions. But like, I felt like it kept going too much past, present, and it was almost like, okay, just get on with the story. Like, same thing with the She-Hulk, just okay. I think they try to make the like big. The problem with Disney, they try to make movie TV show. I want to call them movie TV shows where they're movies, but they break it up in a TV show that makes one episode like really good because it has these action scenes. It has these important scenes in the episode, and then you got the parts where it's showing just story and like explaining the reason behind things. And I think that's what they're falling apart. They're trying to make a movie and break it up into 30-minute, 40-minute episodes. Just make the movie. Make Star Wars Andor. Just one movie, 2 hours, 2.5 hours long. Same thing with She-Hulk. And I think that's what they, like, going back to one of the shows I mostly disliked, Miss Marvel. That's where I think they failed. Where they could have just made that into a movie, and I think it would have done a lot more. It would have done a lot better than making it in an episode, in my opinion. And I think that's what they keep failing at.
Yeah, I Andor was one of the shows that I wasn't excited for, and you guys kind of knew that. Episode 1 started very interesting. I felt like, you guys haven't watched it yet. Spoilers, it's Sunday. By the time you guys will be seeing this, they showed Andor basically fighting off 2 cops who are harassing him, and then flat out killing a cop. So I think that's interesting, and for me at least, in the sense that I feel like the one thing that the show tried to do, and I almost called it a movie. One thing that the show tried to do is that they try to let you know, yo, Cassian Andor's not a good guy. He's a guy who's out there for himself. And though in the show he's looking for his sister, it looks like, and he went to like Shady's place. But they want to let you know, yo, this is not Luke Skywalker. You know what I mean? You guys are watching a show of a guy who makes questionable decisions, who's in survival mode, and is looking for his sister, which I thought was interesting. I thought that was a pretty interesting way of portraying a character, because a lot of these Disney shows outside of Mandalorian, even with Boba Fett, it came off like that, where they're like, yo, this is a guy that we're telling a story about, and he is a good guy. So I thought that was pretty interesting. Episode 1 I thought was really interesting with the way they kind of handled things. Showed him greedy, showed him into getting into all these troubles. I thought the backstory was interesting because we didn't really know a lot about him, and it kind of showed you how he got to where he was at now, and what happened to his sister, which I think was important just for the beginning. Yeah. But I feel like the whole sister plot was basically so far abandoned. You know what I mean? It came up in episode 1, he's looking for his sister, and then it doesn't come up again, and maybe, it'll come up in future episodes. We got 3 episodes, but we didn't see it again. Other than that, episode 2 was kind of slow. I had a hard time watching it, I'll be honest. Episode 3 was more interesting. It was a lot more action. You're starting to see how he got into the rebellion, which is one of the things I thought was really interesting too, by the way. I don't know if you caught this, but on his home planet, which I can't think of the name of the home planet right now, when they were in the ship, and her name was Marva, came in. She was like, yo, we need to get out of here, because when the rebellion gets here and they find us in the ship, they're going to kill us. And I thought that was interesting because everybody watches the Star Wars movie thinks of the rebellion as these, fantastic people, and it just goes to show you too that there's bad people everywhere, Yeah. So I thought that it was a more realistic take on the Star Wars universe, which I really enjoyed. I'm interested. I'm curious to see where they go with it moving forward, and I hope that the show picks up. But episode 1 was really slow. Episode 2 was also episode 1 wasn't really slow. Episode 1 was slow. Episode 2 was slow, which I expected with them giving us 3 episodes. Episode 3 was interesting. The fighting is really good. The fighting was really good. The way they handled a lot of these scenes was really good. One of the things that stood out to me too is that I felt like, video wise and the cinematography wise on the show, it looked better. Crazy as it sounds, it looked like they had a higher budget than Obi-Wan had, because I felt like they went to more places and everything looked really clean. So I don't know if that's something that you guys caught up on.
Yeah, I agree with that.
Yeah. So the story is definitely a more adult toned, a darker story. So it's starting to grow on me a little bit, and I'm actually really interested.
So about 15 to 25 million.
Check Obi-Wan.
The Star Wars Andor
is that per episode or is that for the whole show? Can you look at that?
Yeah, let me take a look.
I just decided checks the
Obi-Wan.
budget.
So okay,
that's Revenge of the Sith. Or for some reason, Revenge of the Sith budget came in and it came out to 13 million.
Gives a budget of 90 million, which is 10 million lower. One shocking low production budget.
Yeah, so we're confirming here.
So
that's very interesting. So according to this article, go ahead, Jay, tell them.
So according to this article, Moon Knight and Miss Marvel was given a $165+ million budget and $150, so around there. And then Obi-Wan was less than that. They were given
almost half of it at 90.
Yeah, at like 90 million,
which is insane considering the amount of people that were excited for Obi-Wan.
The budget for Andor has to be per episode, if that's the case.
This is per episode.
So per episode, it's about 15 to 25 million.
How many episodes are we getting of Andor? Excuse me.
We are getting Andor. We have 3 episodes now, and we're getting 12.
So 15 times 12, just to give you an example, is 180 million. So it's literally double the budget of Obi-Wan, which is pretty insane. Which is pretty insane for the show, and it definitely shows. You watch it, definitely shows.
I really enjoyed Obi-Wan though.
I did too. I just wish they would have given it more money, because some of the stuff, some of the special effects weren't where it needed to be. Yeah. All in all, I think at least for me, I'm obviously willing to give the show a shot. I enjoyed episode 3. I kind of see where they're like. I like the way they've handled things so far. It was really talk heavy. I don't know if we needed 12 episodes. I still don't even know if we need an Andor show. But I'm hoping that by the end of this, by the end of the show's run, I can say, we definitely needed to see Andor. You know what I mean? The story was great. It did
for 12 episodes, that's pretty interesting. So I'm curious to see how, like, more in depth it goes and more, like, where the story goes for a 12 episode. Because I think this was a show that everyone wasn't too excited for to begin with.
Yeah, even though Rogue One was great, I just felt like we didn't really need Andor's story. So
yeah, and then just for those Bad Batch fans out there, season 2 will be dropping January 4th, 2023. If you didn't know, a Bad Batch. Looking forward to that. I still gotta watch
season 1.
You gotta watch season 1, and you gotta watch the Clone Wars.
Yeah, I do. I do.
You seen Rebels, right?
No, I gotta watch that too.
Bro, I'm gonna give you a Star Wars playlist to watch.
Yo, we actually went to Disney a couple weeks ago. Just you want to show them real quick before we sign off?
Let me bring them out. Alrighty, so I am back. We went to Disney a couple days ago, and I picked up Ahsoka's lightsabers, dual lightsabers. These are amazing.
Show them. Take one out the box. Take one out the box.
Yeah, I got you. So these are amazing, bro. They feel super nice. They are able to change to blue and green, both of them. But they're super. I took the batteries out for they don't go bad. That's the only reason why I'm not turning it on. But they're really nice. These lightsabers, like
really heavy duty.
Heavy duty. I was very impressed with them.
Yeah, and then he also got this one right here.
I was actually not planning on picking these up. until the guy showed them to me, and I was like, just add it to the budget.
Yeah. and then my boys forgot this guy showing this too.
And then I got my favorite character, Anakin Skywalker, but Dark Anakin Skywalker, which is Darth Vader. And I picked up the Darth Vader lightsaber. I had to. This was the one that I was mainly going for to cop. But then he showed me the Ahsoka one, so
Josiah was sold.
I was sold. So I have now...
He has a father and son connection.
Yeah. I have Luke Skywalker's, Darth Vader's, and Ahsoka's, the Padawan.
Yeah. So
that is my
dope,
collection.
Man. You were talking about Andor, and I just thought about that, so I thought it was pretty cool that that my boy just had to give you guys a shot. I'll give you guys a shot at looking at the lightsaber. So, guys, that's basically all we had for you guys this week. We'll be back next week, same channel, same place, same time. Thank you guys for hanging out with us. You guys have a great and safe week. If you're in Florida and you're watching this, I know we got some storms coming, so make sure you guys are stocking up and keeping safe. Yeah. We'll see you guys next week, same place, same time. Take it easy, We're signing out.
Bye.
Peace.